everyone, how's it going? Shy Seedling back again. I posted a speed paint before this one. I think they're both actually gonna go up at the same time. I've been working on trying to get this out for the past 2 weeks, which is insane. I have been ill, as I said in the other one, but in this Draw With Me video, I'm just gonna go into depth about what exactly happened, what that means. Well, not what exactly happened, because it's a lot to be real, but I want to come back, and before I had the idea of trying to do this as a career, but I think that it would just be a little overwhelming for me to figure this out and figure out what's going on with my life in general. So this one, or this channel, I'll still upload to. I want to try to still do it weekly. I just don't know. I'm not gonna freak out if it's not and it's a little inconsistent. I think as long as I share my art with others and build a community base, and we can talk to each other and learn from each other and stuff, that's really all I care about, to be honest. And then the rest will follow eventually, probably. But today the drawing it started off as a study, and then I wanted to just kind of do something else with it. Looking back on it now, a lot of it is unfinished. But I kind of like the way it looked. At the same time, I'm kind of trying to explore new ways to draw things, new ways to look at stuff. So this is it's really just a random illustration. There's no reason, point, or anything to it at all. So I'll let the beginning part of it play a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk about something. So as you saw in the beginning there, I was really just using the head shape and pose, and then I was just kind of fixing it as I went. It's so funny because I've been drawing for so long, but because I'm so overly critical of myself, I feel like I could have learned a lot more and made a lot more progress a lot sooner if I just got out of my own head and stopped getting in my own way. So this illustration ends up looking okay at the end, and I stylized it the way that I would usually draw for myself, just because. But I wish that I could just get a form or a face down on paper a lot faster than I usually do. I feel like I really should just be more skilled based on how long I've been drawing. But I guess time is relative, and I know that now, and I'm constantly learning stuff and taking this a lot more seriously, and I'm feeling a lot more free and creative to not really want to do well each time I draw something. I've just been drawing things, and if I want to share it, I'll share it, and if I don't, I don't have to. And I don't have to it doesn't have to be perfect. Regardless, it can look like crap if that's how I want to leave it. So I'm coming to grips with that. Here, I'm trying to draw the hand, and I've been trying to use a reference more often, and so I'll try to use my own hand. I think I was actually in public this time, so I can't remember how I ended up getting the hand reference. I think I might have actually used a Clip Studio material, and that's just kind of instead of me stressing out about trying to get it right for an illustration, because I'm just drawing for fun, I just use the Clip Studio material to just get out of the way. and continue on with the illustration and still have fun. So I do have intention of sitting down and like forcing myself to do more hand studies. I used to do that a lot a few years back, but like I said, drawing became like a source of stress for me, so I just drew what I felt comfortable with doing, and that was a very short range of things to do. Oh yeah, see, so I'm using it. I'm using it to try to figure out where the hand goes, and the material is kind of hard to work with. It's gotten easier for me over time using it, but it's still like really strange to work with. So I'm trying to figure that out. I think the last time that I recorded anything and posted anything was the Mizitsuni painting, and that one I got in my head about like constantly, and the end product is not really like, it lost its essence like so quickly. I just kept working on it because I just felt like it wasn't done, and then I stepped back and look at it, and I was just like, wow, this really has gotten away from me. So the last time I posted that was because of Monster Hunter Wilds coming out, and it's been out for like a month, and I know that there's a lot of like mixed feelings about the game. I think even on Steam it says that the reviews are mixed. I have been playing the game since 3U personally. My husband has been playing the game since I think the very, very beginning, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's missed. I think the only one that he didn't play was Frontier. And that's because I don't think it was available to us at the time. So I've been playing it for well over 10 years. And I don't really have a lot of like major qualms with the game. A lot of people are complaining about like not necessarily the ease of the game overall, but just like the overall vibe is what it seems like to me people are upset about. Like, things in the game used to be really tedious and arduous and slow, and your monster hunter was slow, and the monsters just seemed like really fast, and you were just trying to keep up. And then you had the crafting, and you had the expeditions and all that stuff. And in this game, they've made it a lot more streamlined. In World as well, they made it a lot more streamlined. I personally enjoy the quality of life stuff that they took out. Like, the farm is a lot more efficient. I can go on an expedition if I want to, but I don't have to. I like that I have to, or I can hold the button now to gather materials instead of clicking each time, because there was like a certain rhythm to that too, because the animation was kind of long when you bounced off or you picked up the bug or whatever the case may be. So I mean, there's certain things that I hated about the game that are just gone, and I'm happy about it. In terms of like damage and like the fights in general, I've always appreciated Capcom bringing something new and fresh to each game, especially when it came to mechanics and the melee for sure. I really like the way that all of the weapons feel, except for the charge blade. I used to use charge blade a lot, and they changed like one thing, and now the whole weapon feels different, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I have to like sit down and relearn how to play it. That's how bad it is for me. But I main Gunlance, and I started maining Gunlance back in World, I think, because it became the way that they edited the button layout became doable and intuitive and made sense. And I've always wanted to play Gunlance, but the spacing and the way that the buttons were laid out just didn't make any sense to me, and it was so like unnatural. But I like the way that the weapons play. I like the addition to the movesets. I don't really like the wound system, but I feel like with anything that Capcom implements, like any new strategy, like let's say for instance, since most people are familiar with World, the slinger, like mounting to bash into the wall, whatever that's called, I forgot, there's a term for it, that people don't people didn't like at first because it would just do a lot of damage, and you could kill a monster pretty quickly if you were just able to exploit that multiple times throughout the hunt. Same thing with Rise, where, you know, they really wanted you to ride on the monsters and have them fight each other. So they made the game so that you could do that as much as possible with like a very short cooldown between finding another monster to fight against. So I feel like it's always been like that. They've always had a problem with introducing a new idea, and they just want you to use it so much. And I feel like all they really need to do to fix the issue, any of the issues, is either make the monster stronger or make your damage output weaker. Another thing that I feel like people are complaining about is, or have gripes about, it's not really complaining, because I can acknowledge what they're saying, I just don't find it a problem, is the mobility of the hunter. I don't really mind the fact that I can move around like much quicker. I have always liked the games as they progress getting more and more fluid with the mobility. It allows me to space myself differently, think about what I'm doing with the monster differently, as well as just, you know, the hitbox porn is crazy. Like, I just generally like moving faster rather than clunky and slow with animations that last like 6 seconds and stuff like that. Like, it added a layer of artificial difficulty to the game for sure, but it was not their intention. It was not Capcom's intention. Otherwise, they wouldn't constantly tweak the way that the weapons work as well as the speed at which you can fight. So really, all I feel like that needs to change, and it seems like that's kind of like balancing out a little bit as they bring arc-tempered monsters into the game with Raidao and then whatever else they're going to bring later on. But the damage output is a lot higher than the regular monsters, so you actually have to, you know, be careful. I wish that I could decrease the frequency at which my cat can heal me, because it's pretty immediate and they're pretty close to you for most of the time. So getting healed by your cat after you take like 75% damage is pretty much guaranteed, which I don't really like. I wish I could decrease the frequency, that way I can choose whether or not I want to heal myself. But other than that, I don't use the secret on purpose to get out of sticky situations, because I feel like I don't need to. It makes the game more fun without having the safety blanket to use. A lot of people don't really like the fact that you can just do that, but you could just not do that. I don't see why it's that big of a deal. My husband in particular, he doesn't like the fact that there's a mount in the game at all, which I disagree with, but it's fine. Either way, it makes the game, it doesn't really make or break the game for me that, you know, we're faster. All the monsters have to do is hit harder, or we just don't hit as hard, is really what it comes down to. Like, it's a very gamey thing. You just either make them hit you harder, or you hit not as hard. That's not really English, but you get what I mean. So yeah, you guys can tell me in the comments what you feel about the game. I know there's only like one person that was following me that liked the fact, or that noticed the fact that I enjoy Monster Hunter and made it clear that they like it as well. So it's probably just you, if you even care to come back to watch my videos. Otherwise, you know, whoever sees this, whoever was paying attention, you can tell me about how you feel. And then hopefully I'll have the patience to look through that Mizutsune and upload the rest of the speed paint for that, so you guys can all see it as well. Even though I don't really like it anymore, it's still worth sharing, you know. Now we're at the point in the drawing where it's getting close to the end here. I blended in a little bit, the shadows, a little bit of the light. I like the way that the lines looked when I added the little rainbow in, but then eventually like it just made it really muddy with the shadow in the background, the other person shadow in the background, whatever. So I scrapped the rainbow lines, I think, altogether and just left them black, but I felt the shading was necessary, so I just did very, very basic shading. I didn't add any nails, as you can see. Like, the hand pretty much just stayed the way it was when I drew it the first time. The hair isn't really the best. It's not as flowy as I would like it to be, like the little tendrils in the front, but that's fine. Also, like I said, this stuff is just like real chill. I'm just drawing, playing with stuff, low pressure, like, so sometimes they just end up looking not the greatest, and I say that this is pretty mid. I do like the little background that I did. I like the fact that I did a little ghosty girl thing. I don't really like adding the sclera or the irises or anything like that for the eyes. I typically like don't do that. I just don't like the way that it looks when I draw it. I like the idea of just having empty, soulless eyes. Oh, I guess in this case I did draw the sclera, but yeah, whatever. So there you have it, folks. I added some noise on top. Looks pretty cool. You can see the little red face in the background. You can see the blue hair. I don't think it looks too muddy now that like we're looking at it. I'm sorry you keep hearing things in the background. I didn't mute my computer. I'm not gonna mute it because it's already a thing that's baked into the audio, and I'm not gonna redo it. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants for all of this. But I just wanted to thank you guys for I want to thank anyone who's still watching, who like saw that I uploaded and watched my video, even if you didn't watch it through its entirety and you're just like checking in or whatever. I totally appreciate it. I hope that I can bring some different kind of content to the channel. I feel like my drawing level isn't really where it should be, but I also am forgetting that this is like the channel for the trenches. Like I'm making videos showing my learning process, and the whole point of this is to converge and share information and be vulnerable together. So um I'm grappling with that idea on like content, what I should draw, what I should share. But yes, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one, buried in the trenches, screaming, crying, holding each other. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, bye.